Welcome back, everybody. Please get your seats. Do we have your attention? So, Otto, it's yours.
So, welcome everybody. Welcome the viewers of our online stream. It's my pleasure to have you here for the final of the data project, which is a special course of the Data Analytics for Business program. And the students are doing that project for 2.5 months, plus minus if I'm counting it right. And there is not only the business idea definition, ideation, and MVP or something, but that class differs because the students have to deliver and have to deliver the data-oriented solution. And I think it's not easy. We have seen 13 teams in semifinal who did excellent job. And we will see 5 teams in the final who will be competing for the prize of 40,000 Czech crowns from our sponsors. I'd like to study in that time. In my age, it wasn't as usual having such a good prizes. But back to the competition. There won't be competition without the jury. And let me to introduce you our final jury members. We will start with the members who are here in place. And first, Hanna Schnablová, who you already know, expert in design, science, and all these, and service science and these things. Second, Mexo Řehák, expert in negotiation. I think a couple of you have seen him, and hopefully you will have a possibility to see him next year in a course called Negotiation. And definitely I would take that because it's something. Yeah. The third is Denis Tureček. And this is the guy who does etiquette, who does clothing, and everything which deals with the networking and all that stuff. So he had his eye on your gadgets and how you have dressed, and this also influenced his selection for the teams for the final. Then we have a Dušan Chlapek. This is a vice dean of our faculty, and he's also responsible for all the MBA programs and all the business relationships. And we are missing one more who is always late, and it's a Petr Fabera.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Yeah. So, okay, it's always like him, but we won't be waiting for him. And it's a Petr Fabera from ČSOB Bank, one of our program sponsors. And online, we will have a Paolo Lacke. Hi, Paolo. Nice to see you. And
hello, everyone. Hello.
And Paolo is an expert in product design, working for what was Mozilla, Skype, Microsoft, doing consulting, so many companies, and he is the one who is teaching myself, how to set up the products, how to set up the services, and I have got lots of experience from him when we have been designing this class. So thank you very much, Paolo, for taking part.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, he's not able to be here. Yeah, you will miss after party, Paolo. Yeah, Petr Fabera is... So, Paolo, thank you very much. And Petr Fabera is here. So, cheers to the crowd, Petr. Yeah. It was 4 minutes, not 5. Unusual. So, and how it will be organized? It will be pretty simple. We have already selected 5 teams, and these 5 teams are not in a numerical order. So
you have to wait.
You have to wait. And I am asking the first team to take the floor, and it's the team number 5, HTA Monitor.
Please.
Cheers.
Warm welcome. So again, you have 10 minutes, and then there will be discussion and questions from our jury.
Hello everyone, once again. On behalf of team number 5, I would like to welcome you here today. My name is Mario, and together with Magdalena, we'll introduce our project called HTA Monitor. In the next few minutes, we'll go through a short explanation of the pharma industry, a description of our project from a technical point of view, a demo, and at the end, we'll talk about our clients and the feedback we have got so far. So, let's start.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to start with the product life cycle. So developing and marketing a medicinal product can take up to 18 years. After thorough research and development, out of thousands of molecules, only one is actually granted a marketing authorization, and that means it can be marketed and distributed in various countries. That is actually entering the phase of market access, and it means that the quality, efficacy, and safety of the medicine, of the treatment, has been proven. After that, finally, the patients can be treated, and the pharmaceutical company gains revenues. After that, the innovative product loses its patent eventually, and that means that generics emerge and the competition arises. So keeping an eye on your competition, so-called horizon scanning, is very key here. Now, I'd like to focus on the market access, because that is our goal here. I would love to introduce you Sonia here on the slide. Sonia is my colleague. She is a pharmacist, and she works as a market access specialist. And it is her job to accompany a medicinal product through its life cycle. And it mainly consists of taking part in very many years-long administrative proceedings. And the aim of that is to set price and reimbursement for the medicinal product. That is very important, because the reimbursement is paid from the health insurance funds, from the common budget we have, and without having the reimbursement, it wouldn't be affordable for the patient, because simply it would be too expensive. But the health insurance budget is limited, and we had to come up with a framework how to decide which treatment we can reimburse and which we cannot. And this field is called the before-mentioned HTA, Health Technology Assessment. As you can see here, it's a combination of medical science and economy. And through the analysis of cost effectiveness and budget impact, we can analyze which treatment deserves to get the reimbursement and which simply sadly does not. So that's the job of Sonia, back to her. So she has to prepare these analyses, and she has to present them in the administrative proceedings. But it takes for her to manually monitor hundreds of data sources and websites from tens of countries all around the world, which is obviously very exhausting and very prone to error. So we've come up with a solution for her, and I will move back to Mario. He will present it to us.
So, there are many HTA agencies around the world producing assessments that are available online and for free. But the problem is the diversity of their websites, different languages, different structures, or even the length of these documents. Thanks to our application, you don't have to go through all these HTA agencies yourself, because you use web scrapers to check and eventually download and store the assessments on a daily basis. There are thousands of documents at this point. Moreover, you don't have to spend hours reading these documents because you use natural language processing, artificial intelligence, and matching of the most relevant medical subject headings to analyze the content. Thus, we can provide you with a short summary and a list of keywords for a specific document you are interested in. There is also a notification layer of our application for receiving alerts about changes in your portfolio. Thus, you have everything you need for a complex understanding of a current market situation under the same roof. So, let's demonstrate how the application works on a real use case. Imagine that I'm in the role of our friend Sonia, who is the market access specialist. I'm an educated pharmacist, and my job is to take care of medicines in my clients' portfolios. One of these medicines is called Revlimid. So I type Revlimid in the search bar, and immediately I can see the active substance called lenalidomide. Click for more details. And here I can notice that Revlimid was actually the first medicine based on this active substance, introduced in 2007. After 10 years, its patent expired, and then between 2018 and 2020, two competitors emerged with their generics. By clicking on the arrow button, we can get even more detailed information about Revlimid. As could be seen here, Revlimid has been used mostly as a treatment for these hemato-oncological indications. And now, let's go back to the list of other active substances relevant for Revlimid. There is also a hydrochloride form of lenalidomide. This hydrochloride has already been authorized for another indication. That means that a rival company has found out how they can treat even more patients with this active substance. I can scroll down a bit and find the assessments needed for the approval. But wait. Whoop. There is also a new assessment that does not belong in any of the already authorized indications. It's reasonable to think that someone is trying to use this active substance for another treatment. I can briefly check the overview and the list of keywords, so now I roughly know what it could be, and I can use my customized notification system to monitor the situation in the future. These assessment overviews and list of keywords could also be useful in cases when I want to be a competitor for others when entering the national market. In this case, I must prepare analyses proving that my new medicine has a clinical effect as well as an economic impact. Only in this case, a price and a reimbursement will be assigned, and therefore, my new medicine will be available for patients at a reasonable price. The best practice in preparation of these analyses is to look at those who have made it through the process in other countries. Thus, I can lower the probability of returning my analysis back many times for corrections. This happens quite often and unfortunately prevent patients from being treated because it causes delays. So, what are the benefits of our application so far? No wasting of money, time, and mental capacity in the process of analyzing HTA assessments. Moreover, we will get a unique overview of these HTA assessments. We'll be aware of the most important changes in your portfolio in real time, and we will also have a better picture of what your rivals are doing. We have two options here. The first one, full access to our application, and the second one, Watchdog with notifications only. We also have some plans in the near future, mostly with extending the list of our data sources, improving notification system, creating document comparison tools, and API endpoints. Actually, the last one has been done just this morning. In addition, our main midterm goal is to focus on cooperation with Cogvio and their monitoring systems. So that's it, and now we can go back to the business part with Magdalena.
Thank you. HD Analytics, as the four of us, for the students, we are not alone in this. It wouldn't be able for us to get all those channels and important know-how. So we are very thankful to originate from these 3 companies and institutions mentioned. It is not only their very strong subject matter know-how, but only their client base. And that client base has helped us a lot in the early stages of defining the success criteria for our HTA monitor. And we are just very thankful for it because they are our greatest supporters. They give us great feedback and they are our early adopters. So thankfully, we have the very rich client base to validate our solution with. And to move on a little bit, this idea actually first appeared many years ago, but we revisited it with our Slovakian clients just spring last year. And the customer advisory board was later this year enlarged of some of our Czech clients. So that's already tens of people taking part in this process of the idea validation and business specification. Later on, we cooperated closely with Cogvio on specifying the business use cases, the product market fit strategy, and so on. We started the development in April, I think, and the app was deployed just 3 days ago. And since then, we've already managed to onboard 25 users, which I'm very grateful for. And we keep giving feature requests and feedback like every minute we're sitting here. But that's not the end for us. We want to integrate this into the Cogvio whole system, Cogvio One. And the product market fit, if it works as we hope, we want to have in a year 250 clients, and we think it's feasible. We hope so. So, just to sum this presentation up, the HTA monitor helps the market access experts to save time and to deliver medicinal products to the patients even faster. And if you want to try it out, just ask us. We will give you the access. We'd be very happy to do that. It's even entirely responsible, so you can try it right away on your mobile phones. And that's it. I would like to thank for an exceptionally professional and successful job done to Mario, Adio, and Zuzka right there. And thank you. Thank you, and now it's time for your questions.
Thank you very much for your presentation. And now the questions from the jury. So who wants to start? Go on.
Thank you very much. I've got 2 simple questions. First is you should present to some ideally. So who are you talking to? For who was this presentation settled?
As it was specified before, in the proposition, this is a presentation to the decision maker in the pharmaceutical company who wants to buy us, but he's not a market access expert, so it's not his daily job. And these people are generic, like, I don't know, country managers or even like general directors. So they are not hands-on, they have an idea, but they won't use it and they don't know what the burden is.
Okay, thank you very much. And second, was there any new information in this afternoon presentation before the morning one?
I think yes. We mentioned the epipoints. We forgot in the morning, and I spent a sentence more on the HTA explanation, and I said that it's a combination of medical science and economy, which I think is important, and it didn't take the time in the morning.
Yes, thank you very much.
Can I ask, why do you think you will get only 10 times more customers in a year and a half?
Okay, it's users. We take customers for the whole company, and users can be like 3 or 10 from one company, obviously. But that's a wild guess. I mean, the more we look in the future, the more it varies. And 250, it's not a very brave guess. It can be much more. But we think there is a lot of job done to the technical point, and we want to validate it very well before we roll out in a big. So we don't want to do any. We don't want our competitors to give them a chance to catch us in anything later. So we want to be sure that on the European scale, we are presenting a ready market-fit product. So that's why we want to take some time on that.
Okay, I will ask about the customers or users. You showed customers, but you're targeting users. Or
Okay, it's B2B segment. So our customers are the companies, but from each company we can have 3 or 5 or 10 users. So they are people, but the customers are the companies. So each company can get from 1 to 10 logins. So that's the difference. And we validated the idea with first 3, and then 5 companies. Each of them was about 2 to 10 people. But we count individual clients, individual users in the end, yeah.
and the price is 15K.
Yeah, it's we count it as 15K for the customer. So, and in the general license, there is mostly 3 people per this one subscription. But if your company needs 5 access, it's okay. But if you need 15, we would have to come up with a specific kind of agreement. It's standard. We can work on that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Which are the main risks of the project?
Okay, main risks are that this field is developing rapidly. There are many improvements suggested by the European Parliament and behind even the Czech Pharmacoeconomical Society. So it is possible that our current data sources won't be enough in like a year or 2. So we will have to update the data sources and generally the analytics we are doing to keep fitting the market on, but it's not feasible. We just have to be ready and monitor the situation all along.
Okay, thank you, Otto. So we have Paolo online, so if you can put him through. Do you have questions?
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. I do have one question, if you can hear me. Like, if during your sales cycle to these pharma companies, you were to offer like a trial period, how long the trial period should be, and what are the success criteria for your buyers, for the pharma companies to extract value from your product and to be convinced in buying it?
Okay, the standard demo access, as we call it, the trial period, is for 1 month, where they get all the accesses for free and they can simply try out if it fits their needs, or if there is anything more they need, then we can discuss some additional feature requests and the time we need to implement it. But yeah, basically a month is enough. If anyone needs 2 months, well, everything is possible to be discussed. And yeah, these are our users, if I am answering your question entirely.
Yeah. This is exactly about users to be able to extract the value during the trial period or demo period. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think it's time for the great cheers. Yeah. So, and we have a time for the next team. And the next team will be team number 7, budgeting of Prague University of Economics and Business. Yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Maria, and today, with my colleagues Daniil, Anastasia, and Alihan, we will present you our project. Our main goal was to create a BI solution to streamline the budgeting process on VŠE. Firstly, let's touch a problem of budget allocation in our school. Every year, Vyšeje gets a budget in the amount of hundreds of millions of Czech crowns from the government. Then the money is allocated between all the faculties based on their total volume of teaching output. Let me briefly explain to you what does teaching output mean. As an example, let's have a look at the course called Statistics that is taught by the Department of Statistics and Probability on our faculty. We call this department provider. Providers are those departments who teach specific courses to the wide audience. Then there are students of several faculties who were enrolled to this course. We call the faculties where these students belong to as recipients. And finally, we must calculate the teaching output for this course. Teaching output is a number of points gained based on several parameters, such as a number of students enrolled to the course, number of hours spent teaching the course, whether it was a single lecture or lecture with parallel classes, and so on. And the teaching output is calculated for each course, including the defense and leading of thesis, as well as for the state exams. And in order to allocate money in an efficient way, it's important for school not only to compute its output correctly and fast, but also to be able to analyze this output from different points of view. And this is a problem our school deals with. And now over to Anastasia, who will tell you more.
So for over 20 years, the process of teaching points calculation for budget allocation were made fully manually across tons of Excel files. The data quality was pretty poor and from time to time mistakes were found. But 3 years ago, this problem was reduced by downloaded information straight from University Information System. But still, it's tons of Excel files. And now you can see how it actually looks like, and it's not really user-friendly. But what's more important, it's really hard to answer analytical questions from these files, such as which courses are the least and the most profitable for each department and faculty, how points are distributed between different degree levels, and how points are distributed between different study terms. Also, there is no data warehouse, so that means that it's not possible to track changes in time. And furthermore, only few people are able to operate with this data, which means useful information didn't get to the right people on time. Now let's take a quick look on our key stakeholders. First of all, it's university management who need calculation for budget allocation between different faculties. Second are deans and vice deans. Our solution is useful for data-driven decision-making on a faculty level. And the last one are department heads who can also use our solution for decision-making and ad hoc analysis. And now my colleague Daniel will walk you through our technical part.
Okay, now let's have a look at our project overview. So this is what we had to deal with. It's numerous Excel tables, spreadsheets that are really difficult to handle. There are a lack of dashboards or reports, which makes it difficult to comprehend complex data. No unified system for teaching output calculations, and also, as was mentioned before, no database, which means no historical data analysis. So we decided to develop a tailor-made business intelligence solution that would meet our stakeholders' needs. It will include an ETL tool, a data processing, data integration, a data warehouse to allow historical data analysis, and multiple dashboards. So our final result, so we imagined that our final result would look like this. Simple and clean dashboards with all required data presented to the user. And here are key requirements we got from our stakeholders that our project should meet. It should, as mentioned before, have a data warehouse with processed data. It should correctly calculate a teaching output because it will be used as a source data for budget preparation. It should have multiple dashboards for different levels of school management. And last but not least, it should allow data export for ad hoc data analysis and reporting. And here we briefly introduce you to the technical side of our project and how it was implemented. So first of all, as you can see, we got source files that are handed to us and exported from the school information system in form of Excel spreadsheets. Then we take these files and upload them to the data storage account on Azure Cloud Platform. Then we process the data using an ETL tool and load it into the Microsoft SQL Server database, which serves as stage area. Then we mold the data and create a data warehouse. And from this point on, an ad hoc analysis and data export can be easily performed. Finally, we connect our data warehouse to the Power BI, where we create multiple dashboards. And then we send it to our stakeholders or users so they can operate with it. And now to Alejandro.
Okay, now we'll show you our solution. And during the morning presentation, I didn't hear lots of answers, so I need to ask again if you think that it looks better than Excel spreadsheets. Yeah, thank you. And most important thing that here a user can find answers for every question we mentioned before. For example, points distribution between degree levels, between semesters, and the most profitable course is Master Thesis Defense. And moreover, we have it for the whole school, for every faculty, and for every single department. So it means that our solution can be used by every level of school management. And moreover, it was approved by our key stakeholders. And now it meets the requirements, and it allows school to save time, to optimize study process, and more people can use it. And what's the next steps? Starting July, it will be transferred to school Azure account, and then after some iterations, it will be implemented, so school staff will finally be able to use it, and it will cost around 5,000 crowns per year. So from our side, that's all. Thank you for your attention, and here you can see some reviews from our stakeholders. Thank you.
So questions. I think we can have Paolo first. If you can put him through. Paolo, do you have questions?
I do. Thank you for the presentation. And actually, I wanted to start from a curiosity on the pricing. You mentioned about 5,000 crowns per year. Per what? Per user, per university, per department? What is your pricing breakdown there?
Okay, it's a price for maintaining our solution. So this, what we showed you in our architecture, I cannot show you it. So everything on the Azure Cloud Platform that is like in this square, it is, it will cost this 5,000 crowns. So this, what is in this blue square, not square, rectangle. So storage, ATL, stage area, and data warehouse. So only we calculate the cost only for this part.
I understand from the architecture standpoint, but how that will translate into the business. So there will be a department or a unit, or will be able to serve the whole unit.
Okay, so it will be for the whole school.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So questions here? You want to start, Petr?
Okay, thank you for the presentation. How do you want to develop this solution? Or this is just one-off project?
You mean it's
The
already
architecture, for example, or how do you want to enrich the data that you are putting into the whole system? Because you are using only one type of the data, and I can imagine then maybe next year Ota will need more data for his analysis.
So it's designed in this way that every semester the new data can be easily added to this process.
But it will be the same data, same
The
structure.
same structure. Yeah, it will be the same structure because it's already structured data from the school information system. So it's.
And if the requirement would be not only use this type of data, but some other, I don't know, outside of the university.
Then we should come with something new.
So it's not prepared. It's not prepared for such development.
For now, not. Only this data structure is supported.
And the architecture, you are using data from INSYS, then you are making some, I don't know, CSV or Excel files and putting into your system. And is there possibility to connect the INSYS with your system directly without using Excel?
For now we were not allowed to do this. So we only have the Excels that are already exported. We couldn't allow we can't connect directly to INSYS. School didn't allow us to. So.
Okay, thank you.
May I ask one more question regarding the user friendliness and visualization of your data? If you pull out that, it's going to be simpler for you. Can you show us that slide, please? You said you wanted to have something that is very, very easy to understand for the user. And I would be wondering, why did you select the presentation in the squares or sort of boxes? Why was that taken as the most?
I can't show you here, okay. And
It was at the end, so you just could go backwards. Oh, there was a small one. That's okay.
yes.
See, like the big square in the middle and the other squares. Why did you choose visualization of squares? Why not a pie chart? Why not some other output? Why squares?
While we were doing these dashboards, our main goal was to have this dashboard interactive. So if you click here, some faculty, you will see how the teaching output will change.
Because the other faculty had something different. So I was wondering if there is a link to that or not. If you go next.
I think.
Next. There is.
You mean here?
Yes.
Okay, that's because there are different types of dashboards. So if we're talking,
I can customize myself what I want to see.
It depends on the level. We have it for the whole school, as I said, for the faculty, and for single department of the faculty.
So each has different view.
Yeah, each is different.
Will you continue in this project?
Probably we can continue developing it as a part of our master's thesis, for example, but still at the moment we should finish our project and then we'll think about the future of this.
It's not fair. He's the one who was altering the project for them. So, okay. Thank you very much once more.
Thank you.
And I would like to ask to come to the floor the team number 1, DigiTurtle. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. Today, we would like to tell you a sad story about sea turtle extinction because of human. Thankfully, we can talk about this problem with a person who has been to Indonesia and was saving turtles there. Please welcome Lucas.
Good afternoon, everybody.
So, Lucas, what can you tell us about the problem I have mentioned?
Let me please start with a fun fact. If you managed to get a time machine and traveled 120 million years back, you would be able to take a picture like this. How it comes? Well, because sea turtles are one of few ancient species left on the planet, and their unique adaptation have allowed them to survive and thrive since the dinosaur era until now. Unfortunately, according to IUCN Red List, all 7 species of sea turtles are threatened with extinction. Can you guess the population decline of the leatherback turtle in Eastern Pacific over the last 30 years? Maybe someone heard it in the morning? No one? Okay. It's 90% decline over the last 30 years. What are the reasons? One of the reasons is inappropriate fishing techniques, which are used, for example, in Indonesia. And because of lots of sea turtles are caught as bycatch. Another reason is the fact that sea turtles' eggs are being poached and sold on black market in Southeast Asia. Because of that, it is possible that some of these species will extinct during our lifetime or during the lifetime of our children. But don't worry, sea turtles still have a chance because there are several non-profitable organizations, such as Lestare, who are dedicated to help them. And we decided to help Lestare to raise more funding for their conservational efforts, which consist from establishing of newly protected nesting sites and where sea turtles can lay the eggs safely and being protected from poachers. What is our part in this solution? We've been asked to create a fundraising tool which is data-oriented and is using a photo recognition algorithm. How is that possible? It is possible because each turtle individual have unique spots on their head and thus can be recognized uniquely. These turtle individuals are stored in the database, or their virtual copies are stored in the database, and in the next step are connected with the metadata of unique NFT. Monetary gains obtained from the selling NFTs are provided to organization Lestare and is meant to be for the sea turtles protection and for the establishment of new protection sites. Why did we choose this crowdsourcing type? Sorry. It is because we want to utilize and use the strong momentum and the hype of NFT market, especially in last year. As you can see on the chart, the NFT market capitalization raised from 0.7 up to almost $37 billion in just 1 year. And we want to use part of this momentum and part of this money for conservational efforts. Now you might be asking, what is unique about this project? What makes us different from the other NFT projects with similar scope? And it is that we connect the virtual world of blockchain and NFTs with reality. And the connection is in the database that uses the facial recognition system. And so we achieved to create a we achieved to create a tool which is data-oriented and is meant to save sea turtles.
Wow, the numbers are quite frightening. 90% in 30 years, sea turtles are indeed endangered. But thank you, Lucas, for clarifying the problem. I would like to ask Jakub, who works on a technical background, how exactly does it work?
Thank you, Philip. Good afternoon. As you can see at the slide behind me, this is the architecture of a solution that Lucas talked about. But it is not only the architecture. it is also the data flow that starts with a contributor. The contributor I talk about is a person with a turtle photo, which he or they will upload through our form. From this form, this photo and some additional information that he will fill in will go to our turtle database. This database will serve as a data source for our facial recognition algorithm. This algorithm will evaluate whether it is an already existent record in our database or whether it is a new unique turtle. In the latter case, it will be linked with an NFT, and an email will be sent to the contributor with a thank you note and offer to buy this NFT. And by the way, I have to mention that this whole process is automated and runs on cloud. And to have a closer look at each individual component, this is the website of our solution, more specifically the front page, where you will find the menu that will help you navigate to the form where you can upload the photo. And this is the form where you will upload the photo and some additional information. What's interesting there is that there is an option to take whether you are a researcher or a civil scientist. And now, let me ask you a simple question. Do you like sunny beaches or diving in the seas? If yes, please raise your hands. Thank you. So all of you who raised their hand can become civil scientists and contribute with a photo. Moving on, this is the email I've talked about, which is sent as a response to every contributor for uploading their photo. There you can find the photo of a turtle you uploaded, the NFT that was generated and linked with this photo, and a thank you note, and an offer to buy the NFT. And this is the NFT market, which serves as a market for our NFTs. There you can make your purchase. And by now you are probably wondering whether you can purchase your NFT even though you haven't contributed with a photo. And the answer is simple. It is yes. This edition of NFTs is meant to be bought by everyone. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is the timeline of our project. Aside from the things I and Lukáš mentioned, you can see that we've been to Hackathon EVE Prague 2022, where we've participated with our project, and we've reached pretty good spots and we have also sold our first NFT. Now we are here, and what awaits us in the future? We want to improve our facial recognition algorithm to make it perfect. And what is the most important thing, and the reason why we are doing this all, we need to raise money to help Lestery set up their first protection site, which will be based in Benkaru.
Thank you, Jakub. Now comes up a huge question. Why should anyone buy our NFT? And the answer is simple. The difference between DigiTurtle project and all other projects of similar scope is that you are not only donating, but more like adopting your own turtle. And that is the only one user story. DigiTurtle project will serve as a data source for scientists doing their research and civil scientists who want to contribute to turtle protection. Now, if you want to know more information about our project, you should scan QR code on the left side. Or if you want to go to NFT market, you should scan right one, and you will help saving one of the oldest animal species on our planet.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Do we have questions from the jury here? Okay.
Thank you very much. A few questions here. First of all, you told in the last sentence that we are able to not buy the turtle, but support, adopt, yeah. Who are you that you can support, do this, that we can adopt the turtle? Isn't here PETA or any organization who can claim that the animals are free being and etc.?
you're not really getting real turtle. You are just getting the NFT. And the connection between the NFT, which is like picture, and the real turtle is in the database. The NFT consists also from the metadata, which is in our database. So we have some credentials from real sea turtle, and we connect them with the NFT. So this is the connection.
Yes, so I'm going to adopt my NFT. Okay. And second question?
The adoption is more likely meant that you can go to our website, and there, if you have an NFT, you can search the turtle connected to it, and there on our website you will see the information about the turtle, which will be updated with every picture taken of the turtle. So it's more likely about the information and the actual new photos that you are getting.
Okay, I just was confused by the adoption, like you said. And second question, are you going to create a new face recognition system, or are you going to cooperate with some military face recognitions which are already exists?
We want to cooperate, not exactly with military system, but there already exists one non-profitable organization who has the facial recognition for especially for the sea turtles.
Okay, thank you very much.
May I ask, what is the frequency of updating or getting the updates about one turtle? In a way, how probable it is that one person, well, that one turtle is gonna be seen by other people? If you know.
It is because of the fact that sea turtles comes back to lay eggs exactly to the same beach where they was born. So they are coming back to one beach around once per 2 years. And because sea turtles live up to 100 years, so when we have the protection site on the beach, we basically know that if the turtle is okay, she will come back.
And if there is the protection site, people can go just freely and walk in and sunbathe, etc.
Yes, in some beaches, yes, but there is some rangers who protect the nesting, the nests. Okay. There is some metal around it, and.
Thank you.
Is it really working right now, or
the protection,
your application, your application, the whole?
Yes, right now you can buy the NFT, and
okay, I can buy it.
You can buy the NFT.
How many turtles do you have? The pictures of turtles.
Right now we have around 21 NFTs that are free to use, even if you don't have your own picture. But you can also upload your picture by the web form, and you can create, and new NFT will be created for you.
And you will focus only on turtles.
Right now, yes.
Yeah. And the plans are.
In the future, it would be great to extend this for more extinct, more threatened animal species.
And how many funds do you want to raise?
For example, for the first protection site, it's about $5,000.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we have Paolo, please? Paolo, do you have questions?
Yeah, I have a lot. Just ask one or two. Thank you guys for the presentation. Have you thought, I understand that if today I buy a turtle NFT, you cash the money. Have you thought of at a payout structure? Because as you know, NFTs can also allow a payout structure. So I give you some amount and then can be broken down automatically and routed to different accounts in the future for some other reason already?
Yeah, in the future there will be DAO established, decentralized autonomous organization, and there will be some rules about the redistributing of the monetary gains. But right now the DAO is not ready yet.
Okay. And another question is, right now, from what I understand, the NFT is a classic picture. And the question is if you've thought of a different type of digital asset to produce within the NFT. For instance, I don't know, many of the turtles, they have chips plugged, GPS chips plugged to track their movements or stuff. So if I adopt or buy a turtle NFT, I can perhaps see how then she moves around the ocean or something. Or if you have considered different options and you were sticking just to the picture.
Yes, we considered a lot of other options, and the NFT is so flexible that in the metadata we can have, for example, like you said, the GPS of the turtle, and so on and so on. There can be a lot of information stored in the NFT metadata. And also...
Okay,
Go on, Paul.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead, please.
Okay, do you have some other questions or?
I have a last one, actually, building up on Anna's question before. Have you, so actually to rephrase Anna's question, will you have sufficient volumes, also because you mentioned funds and different important projects to actually help with this, will you have sufficient volumes in terms of revenue with the current approach of me taking a picture on some beach of a turtle versus you providing those pictures on the website and anybody from all over the world without even having to actually, you know, go on that beach and make that picture, take the picture of the turtle, being offered with the possibility of purchasing the NFT?
It would be both. The possibility of people taking their pictures, so the NFT would be connected with their metadata, alongside with the collections that would be provided by us. So, yes.
Okay, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Last call. Okay, so give them a round of applause. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Yeah, and let me to announce the next team. Team number 11, Home Credit India.
All right, so hello once again, good afternoon to you all. My name is Pavel, and together with Terka, we are here to introduce you our project for Home Credit Company. Thank you for coming. In the beginning, I have a simple and maybe a little bit odd question for you. Have you ever lent your money to anyone? Well, I'm sure you did. And how would you feel if they didn't give you your money back on time? It's kind of discomfort situation, right? Well, then you have to call them and urge them to pay. And actually, what is the right time to call them? It's one day after they promised to pay you money, or it's 1 week after, or 2 weeks after, or even a longer time. Well, we don't know the answer. But what we actually know is that our signer, the non-banking company Home Credit, experience this situation daily. Because every month, they lend money to more than 50,000 people. And make those people pay isn't always easy. Well, and that's why they turn to us for help with their problems in an Indian branch office. Maybe you're now wondering why they turn to us, why we should help them with solving their problems up there. It's simple because the international headquarters of Home Credit is settled there in Prague, and some members of our team actually works there, so they are close to the case. But for now, let's leave the historical city of Prague, let's leave the Czech Republic, and let's move a little bit easter to India.
So, this is Rajesh. Rajesh is a call center manager in Home Credit India. His department is responsible for enforcing people or debtors to pay by phone calls. That sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? But we wouldn't be there if there was no problem. Actually, Rajesh is under enormous pressure. Why? Because the expenses on his department are extremely high and top management wants him to reduce them. But this is not everything. Also, call center employees made a tremendous number of complaints that they are not able to call all people in overdue. To sum it up, they are too busy. And that's the real problem because Rajesh cannot hire new employees because that would raise expenses. And vice versa, Rajesh cannot fire employees to lower expenses because of calls amount. So the question is, what to do? Luckily, Rajesh came up with an idea. What about minimizing number of calls? Because employees would be happy, board would be happy, and Rajesh could be happy as well. But the question is, how? How to minimize them? Before we move to solution, let's dive deeper in the current world of debts, debtors, overdue, and phone calls.
Well, there we can see the current timeline of a debt cycles. In the beginning, you got a loan. You have a money, you can be happy, and you can bring your dreams to reality. By the time, you have to pay the money back to bank in small amounts of money, the installments. When you do, everything is all right. But when you don't, you're getting yourself into problems, and you become an overdue debtors. In this moment, the story of call centers starts. And it starts rapidly by calling every single debtor until they promise to pay. It takes time, it costs money, and it brought a lot of problem to Rajesh, as we heard before. So Rajesh would like to change this whole process. And as it was mentioned, he has some idea how to do it. First of all, he would like to sort the overdue debtors into two categories, to low-risky ones and high-risky ones. The high-risky clients are those who won't probably pay their money until next due date, whereas the low-risky ones will probably do. But this step itself couldn't solve Rajesh's problem, so he had to continue in his ideas. And his second idea was to establish a week period when only high-risky clients would be called, and they would be called more intensively, whereas the low-risky clients wouldn't be called at all. Well, there we can see the adjusted timeline when the 7 days period is pointed up. To summarize what we are talking about and what we will have to do, we have to find a proper strategy how to treat certain debtor on the first day when he becomes an overdue debtor. But now let's move to the data that were available. We got an anonymized data set with almost 200 variables. Those data held information about the clients, about the place where they live, about the salary that they have, about their date of birth or their zodiac sign. It also held information about the loan itself. For example, about the amount of the loan or the number of installments that should be paid. As last but not least, we got information about the collection activities. That means, for example, about the number of calls that was made with certain client. It seems like we had enough data for our proposals, but we had to create a bunch of new variables that we used to build our model with, and that helped us to get better score. And speaking about the model, let's now move to the actual solution, how we did it. We decided to build a machine learning model using Python's package of scikit-learn. There, we focused ourselves on maximizing the values of accuracy, recall, and the Gini coefficient. Target of our model were clients or people who won't probably pay the money to the bank on time. That means the high-risky clients. To even simplify the target, we just wanted to know whether to call or not to call, and that is the question. But this is the model, this is the theory. Let's move to reality. Let's move to the actual results of the model. Among all 13 models that we were using, the XG boosting classifier was the best one. On a sample of more than 5,000 records, we were able to detect 80% of low-risky clients. That means those clients who shouldn't be called and who will pay the money on time. We were also able to reveal 13% of clients that should be called more intensively because they are high risky and there is a danger that they won't pay the money on time to the bank. Unfortunately, 18% of data was misclassified. Well, now we can see the key metrics that we focused on and also the confusion metrics of the XG boosting model. Well, this is the model. This is something that has a certain impact on reality and on the business. But actually, Rajesh from call center couldn't fully understand to this. But what he can understand to are the savings. So let's see some number now. This is an average cost of one call in dollars. It doesn't seem like a huge number, right? But let us continue. This is a total amount of calls that are made per 1 month. And finally, we are getting to the total cost of all calls that are made in 1 month. This is the number that we had to reduce, and we did it. We were able to reduce this number we were able to reduce the cost of calls during the first week by 90%. And that is the number that Rajesh could be really satisfied with. And that is also the number that brings us to the end of our presentation. So thank you for your attention. Now I would like to invite the rest of our team there in front of you to answer your questions. So if you have any question, feel free to ask. Thank you very much.
Perfect. So let's first ask Paolo. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you for the presentation. I'm a little bit biased here because I was working in Home Credit, so I know a little bit how Home Credit India works. But just out of my curiosity, when you talk about loans, in India, there's also a significant percentage of loan which are given not just through credit cards, for instance, but also through cash. So what are you discussing when you talk about loans and the data you showed us, both cash and credit card loans, or just a particular type?
No. We were okay. We were counted, or we worked with like both types of loans. That means with cash loans and also the like ETC or credit card loans.
And have you highlighted, besides the acting fast and calling fast the difficult clients, also different problems, different key problems in addition to that, in order to be able to get the money back on the loan for India specifically?
Well,
so
could you please repeat like the question or the?
If you consider just the problem of reducing the calls, or if that for you was the most important problem in order to get the money back, to collect
No.
money.
The amount of call and the spendings on those calls were the main problem that we had to solve for the department.
Okay, thank you. And one last question, as you probably know, if you went tackling this problem there is an assessment that every bank or every company, every finance company does on the customer. It's called KYC, know your customer before issuing a loan. Have you correlate, which actually also gives you a risk score for that client? Have you correlated somehow your data with the risk score of the initial assessment that Home Credit does on these clients?
There's a discussion about it. Go on.
Sorry, actually we didn't compare those numbers, so.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Paolo. So do we have questions here?
That will be easy, because I'm not from that sphere. You're saying that 80% of misclassified data is there. Is it a lot or the opposite? Is 18% a lot of like big number or not?
To be honest, in the field of scorecards, it's kind of average. Measuring quality of scorecards is based on Gini coefficient, and normally it's between 0.4 and 0.6, and we got 0.47, I guess. So it's kind of average result.
Okay, thanks.
Would help in efficiency, would help if the call center would be trained in better negotiation techniques. Would it make a difference?
I think it would be definitely big difference, but we don't have measure to be able to say.
Yeah, you could measure, for example, the people who are high risky at some point, and after calling from trained people, they could move to low risky group. If you could somehow index that and somehow trace that, then you would have your measurement probably.
Yeah, I think it would be improvement, of course. But right now, I cannot tell how big improvement it would be.
Okay, it's just suggestion maybe for the future.
Yeah, thank you.
Which kind of tools are you using in this project?
Okay, it's just Python package, scikit-learn and pandas, and it's all done in Python right now.
Okay, I will ask about the bias. Did you somehow manage to, or isn't it possible that your model would discriminate some sort of people? Did you work with this, or it's just pure model?
Yeah, it's possible, of course, but I will repeat myself again. It's pretty hard to say right now. It would demand to more testing in a real process.
And is it in place, this testing, or no?
Yeah, it's now testing is in process.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you very much, and applause, round of applause for you. Thank you. So, who's the last one?
So, and the last from our 5 finalists is the team number 2, advertising optimization of furniture markets. Woo.
You can celebrate later. Go on.
Good afternoon. We are honored that we can present to you once again. My name is Jiří, and together with my colleagues, Kaya, Varya, and Mark, we would like to show you our presentation called Furniture Advertising Optimization for Furniture Marketplace. Sorry. Okay. In this presentation, we will show you the problems of e-shops, obstacles that one startup we work for called Tenalgo has, and our solution for Tenalgo. Therefore, our client is not eShop, but Tenalgo itself. It's important. Okay. This is Honzik. Honzik is owner of furniture eShop, and he's happy because his revenue is first month for giving his product on marketplace is 500,000 Czech crowns. By the way, marketplace is a place where e-shops can promote their products. You may know Amazon or Fawe with furniture. Problem is that costs are higher than revenue. So now when Honzik realized it, he's sad because his profit is in negative numbers. How did it happen? Honzik has to add hundreds or even thousands of products to marketplace. But he doesn't know which product is better to promote or what amount of bids to use. Bids is the price of one click on the product on the marketplace. The higher amount you give, the higher Fawe displays you on the page, and the more likely you are to get a customer to click on your product, look at the product, and then may or may not buy the product. Fawe often recommends higher bids even though it would mean your eShop is losing money. Honzik has all the data about the products, but he doesn't understand them, doesn't know how to use them, and how the data can solve his problems. So he's looking for professionals who will do it for him.
And it's time for your startup called Tenalgo. Anička from Tenalgo will utilize all the data from the marketplace and solve the Honzik's problem. Yes, Anička from Tenalgo has an algorithm that downloads all the data from Fawe and calculates all bids. After, update and upload them to the Fawe website. However, it's not so perfect. The process takes quite a long time. It's about 2 hours for one e-shop. And they can be run in parallel. And even she has time for coffee, Anička has to be at the monitor all the time and manually move from one-to-one stage of the algorithm to control the process. Anička dreams about a better algorithm that can save her time and do everything automatically. Tenalgo needs to expand the number of clients or shops to grow. And Tenalgo worries that at some point it won't be able to take on a new customer simply because it doesn't have enough resources. Science? With more e-shops, Tenalgo needs more Aničkas.
So, what is our solution? How can we help Tenalgo? So, firstly, automation. Secondly, new bid algorithm. With automation, Anička from Tenalgo will be happy. Why? Because she will have more free time to do different things, better things in her life, and she will not be afraid about influx of new customers. With new bidding algorithm, both Anička from Tenalgo and the e-shops will be happy. Why? Because from the current profits, we can reach even better performance, better profits. Now you are probably asking, so like, what's the solution like? So here we have the new data architecture, and the automation is done in Python Anywhere and in Kabula, and the new algorithm is being calculated in Kabula with the new algorithm, of course. How is it different, the new algorithm, you are asking? We will talk about it later, but we really went through the data and through the old algorithm to make it better. So we have two data sources, Google Analytics and Fave. Google Analytics contains financial information about the product. The data from Google Analytics are uploaded to Kabula. Our second data source is Fave website, which means that we need to scrape data. We use Python Anywhere, which automatically scrapes the data from the Fave website. Those data are uploaded to Google Drive, and then they are again uploaded to Kabula. In Kabula, we merge the tables using SQL Snowflake and Python, and we also use Python to create the new bits with the new bit algorithm. So what is the new bidding algorithm about? Those are the three main benefits. Firstly, utilization of categorical data, which means that basically we have decided to use more information than before. Then secondly, we use different algorithms for new products and for old products. And thirdly, we introduced seasonality in the calculation of each bit. And finally, we have found out that it would be a really great idea, and it is a really great idea, it's already implemented, to lower the bits in the night, during the night periods, because the day is better. So yeah.
Yeah, and how much did it all cost? Only $5. That's because we used the basic version of Python Anywhere subscription, and in Kabula we are still in the free period because our solution is not that data heavy. When we look at the benefits, the main benefit comes with the new clients for Tenalgo. When Tenalgo acquires new clients, now the time needed to taking care of them grows linearly. With our new solution, the growth is significantly lower for the new clients, and therefore it saves time for Tenalgo. We did a comprehensive model of costs and benefits, but as I said, the main benefit is saved time for Anička from Tenalgo. And here we can see the summary of our assumptions. Before the solution they had before our project was not that time-consuming for implementation, but each week they need more than 2 hours to take care of one of the customers. With our new solution, we need only a few minutes each week for new customers, and therefore Anička will save time. So we already said that Anička is happy because she saved time, but also Honzik is happy because we improved also the algorithm and therefore caused more profits for the eShop. And here is a short summary what you've heard today. We described problems of eShops going into marketplaces. We shown that Tenalgo has solution, but had his own obstacles. We shown our solutions to Tenalgo obstacles, and the end was costs and benefits of our project. And we want to thank you for your attention, and we are ready for feedback, and we're happy to hear some questions.
Thank you very much. So do we have questions here? There's a vivid discussion. Do you have a question? No, Petře? Please save me.
I will ask about the automation. It's done in Kabula only. You're taking Kabula, putting everything in there, and set some scheduler in Kabula, and
yeah.
then it's running.
Maybe I will show this slide. So as Kaya said, we had two kinds of datasets from Google Analytics that are uploaded directly to Kabula. and the data from Favi, which contains bids and information about categories of the products and so that are scraped automatically with cloud platform Python Anywhere, saved into Google Drive, and then uploaded to Kebula.
And do you need to web scrape it, or is there any open source or?
Yeah, actually, then they don't have API or any automatic.
They don't have, or you didn't ask.
Sorry?
They don't have, or you didn't ask.
Actually, Tenalgo asked them, and they told that it's their plans in the future to have it, but currently they don't have any kind of API, so it needs to be scraped, basically.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
What is your plan with this? So now it's done for the furniture market. If I'm not mistaken, you mentioned a startup. Perhaps it can be transferred to different industry as well to use to similar purposes. Are you planning something ahead?
Yeah. I have two parts of answer to these questions. First of all, for Tenalgo, we already implemented it for the first client. It will be tried next month, the new algorithm and the automation, and therefore, afterwards, we want to continue and implement it for all of their clients. And they don't have clients not only on Favi, which is a furniture marketplace, but they started also Glami, which is a marketplace with clothes. And yeah, there is a big potential there. So probably that would be the next step, implement this to clients also on Glami.
If you won the final prize, would you invest that into your project, into your business?
I'm not if I would be in the shoes of Tenalgo, I would definitely invest because their solutions are really time consuming, and they have like 12 customers, and now it's suitable. But when they have 20, 50, 100 customers, it's not suitable at all. They would have a lot of people just clicking and not doing anything productive. So our solutions can solve it.
And what about you? Because the question was what you would do with that.
Yeah, you mean with that? Okay, we had a long discussion about it, and we agreed that there would be a small celebration if we won, and then we probably would invest some of the money because, you know, the time is hard, and the best thing you can do with money is invest or probably save. So, yeah. And regarding of that, we are sure that we will continue the work with Tenalgo to implement the solution in whole.
Thank you.
Thank you. So can we have Paolo, please? Paolo, do you have questions?
Yeah, I do. Thank you for the presentation. The first question is, did you draw the slides by hand?
Yeah, most of the slides are drawn by hand, and there is some of the signs that use a font that looks like a draw by hand. So 90% of it is drawn.
Nice. Thank you. And actually building on Anna's question, what is it is not clear to me what is Tenalgo to you. Is that a client? Is that a partner? Are your end clients Tenalgo's clients?
Yeah, basically Tenalgo is our client. We are doing projects specifically for them that suits their needs.
Okay, so your whole business model revolves around Tenalgo only at the moment, and then it could be extended in the future.
Exactly, exactly. We just describe the problem from the side of eShops first, then go to Tenalgo and then us. But the thing is that Tenalgo is our client, and we are not related to the eShops itself. We work for Tenalgo.
All right, and just for me to understand clearly here, you made very clear, you know, the time saved from Tenalgo's side. And is there also with your improvements some of the effectiveness in the sort of ad placement of the objects from the end user? in addition to the time saved?
Yes, if I understand well, it's the new algorithm. It improves the bidding, which means the price we pay for the advertisement. And it is really important to set the level right, because you want to promote the products that's selling well and not promoting the bad products.
So if you wanted to actually go and compete with an algo tomorrow, what else would you miss in addition to what you've done?
Yeah, that is right. Tenalgo showed a lot of work they have done to us, but we've signed NDAs, so we can't.
Okay. Thank you. That already answers my question. Thanks.
Thank you very much. That's it. Thank you guys for your presentation.
Just before we will tell you who is the winner, I have a couple of announcements. And I like that because this is the only moment when the whole audience is just listening to myself. So, first organizational issue. As originally I thought you will have a time for delivering the whole project till next Sunday. Unfortunately, we have to do this till the end of the semester. It means till Wednesday. Sorry for that, but your projects are already ready, so then I will update the teams and please submit it till Wednesday midnight, because on Thursday I have to grade everything. Yeah, this is the first thing. And now to the, let's say, things which are making me proud of yourself. I'm glad you did excellent projects. Even the ones who didn't make it till to the finals, they are very good, and I think you have proven you have learned a lot. And it comes to me to one, let's say, thing you perhaps didn't think about that, but I have seen you during the first hour or first day of your semester here at the Prague University of Economics, and this is the last day of your first year at the Prague University of Economics. So, you did it. You did it, yeah. And one more thing, this is probably the last day when all of you are together. Because the second year is different, it's more individual. So it means you will be on your internships, you will do the elective subjects, elective courses, so you won't see yourselves all together. But there is one more option where you can connect, where you can meet, and this is the alumni club meetings. We'll be organizing them, or you will be organizing them. You'll be organizing them regularly during the next year, and I'd like to thank especially Magda for taking care of them, and the rest, of course, and the rest of the team, because I have enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to enjoying that next year, but with the freshmen. Yeah, you will be the seniors, and there will be new year of freshmen. Yeah, you can tell them how easy everything is. So, and before the after party, which will be held here, and I think it has been organized, and I think we have also some alcohol there. Oh, but I think some of you have already found that. It's already in there. So I hope you will enjoy it as a last party of this semester. I'd like to give a word to Petr Faber, representative of the ČSOB Banka, and he will be announcing the winner. Before that, I'd like to thank to the whole jury who was in their spare time evaluating your projects, to the jury here, and if we can bring Paolo. Paolo, thank you very much for that. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure and great presentations by everybody.
Yeah. I owe you the dinner, you know.
Looking forward, Ota, to come back to Prague and have dinner together.
Yeah, let me know. Thank you very much, Paolo.
Thank you.
So, and time's up. Floor is yours.
Okay.
You can invite all the teams from the final just to come here and to stand here, please.
Šup, šup, šup. Jdeme nahoru? Chceme jít nahoru? Chceme jít nahoru? Asi půjdeme, až tam nalezou. Půjdeme to... Asi tam lezem tak.
Jo, vlastně si tam
Yeah.
Okay, well, we are probably here, everyone. So I would like to say that all the presentations were really good, and I would like to know how you prepare the presentations, and I would adopt it in my in my office and in my department. So it was okay, fine. It was really great. And after the discussion and several rounds of discussions, we choose the team number 2 as a winner of this competition, which was the Tenalgo or the improvement of. Yes, it was you. Yeah.
Congratulations. Thank you, Petr, and congratulations to you all.
And I will add my final remark for all the challenges like this. The prizes have been awarded to the winners, but the after party is for everyone. Enjoy that. Enjoy the last day of your semester.